Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. It is Thursday, August the 4th, 2022. It is Thursday. That means it is Friday Eve. So, good morning to everyone and welcome to Purpose Journey Counseling. My name is Dr. Natatu North, and I am the owner and therapist at Purpose Journey Counseling, LLC, located in Cincinnati, Ohio. I want to say welcome and good morning. It is Thursday. And we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And I will post the YouTube link on Instagram following this live broadcast. So we're live right now. So I want you to like, follow, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and please share this video, whether you're watching it live or you're watching it later. Please share with someone. Social media has the ability to, it is powerful, but it has the ability to be very positive as well. A lot of times the connotation is negative, but we share a lot of other things that maybe aren't so great or maybe aren't so inspiring or encouraging. So let's be sure to share these videos because they're meant to inspire, they're meant to encourage, and they're meant to empower. And also, please interact and engage in the comments section of whatever platform you're using. I'll be able to see those comments, and so will other people. So those are also helpful as well. So good morning. It is Thursday, and today we are here for Thursday Thoughts. Thursday Thoughts. So today we're really going to talk about thinking and the power of the mind and the power that lies within our thinking, our thought processes, those types of things. So, first, I want to say be mindful of your thinking, your thought process. Pay attention to the kind of thoughts that you have. So the thinking, meaning the sum total, everything, things, recurring thoughts. There's some things that we think about or people that we think about a lot, and we don't often realize that those are things that are actually in our minds or things that are actually part of our natural thought processes. There's times that we're actually in the middle of doing something and we have to think about this or kind of, oh, I'm going to think about that. Or somebody asks you a question and maybe you don't know the answer. I'm going to think about that. But it's very, very important to be mindful of your thinking, to actually be able to answer the question of what are you thinking about. So even when I ask that right now, there's some things that you're thinking about right now. You might be watching this, but you might be thinking about, oh, well, I got to get to work. How many meetings do I have today? What's on my schedule for today? What do I have to do this weekend? Did I do this? Did I forget to put the food away last night? There's a lot of things that we think about, but it is important to be able to acknowledge what those thoughts are because thoughts have power. We're going to get to that in a second. And also thinking about whether you tend to have negative thoughts, whether you tend to have positive thoughts. Some of us think negatively about everything, ourselves, other people, the situation, the potential outcome. Some of us think more positively. And sometimes it's about flipping the negative thought or the negative thought to a positive thought. So it's being very, very mindful and analyzing what we're actually thinking about and being very mindful of that. The Bible tells us to set our minds on things above, not everything else. It's easy to get distracted and even our thinking about what's going on, because even thinking about, being successful or, walking in your destiny, as we've been talking about, in purpose and all of those things, there's all these other things that are going on in the world that can distract that and actually can cause that thinking to change. Well, I used to think that I could do this, or I used to think that I was doing that, but now I'm so distracted by everything else, I'm not even really sure. Another thing, when someone says, what you thinking about? What's on your mind? A lot of times we say nothing. I don't think about anything right now. Sometimes that's true. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes I think we're thinking about so many different things that it's really hard to be able to pinpoint one actual thought. And being present in the moment. Being present in the moment is so important. I don't know how many times I'm sitting and doing one thing, but I'm thinking about 15,000 other things. And usually it's my next task. I have to check myself on that, because when you're bogged down with a schedule, you're bogged down with a lot of different things to do. Again, that's that distraction piece, but then you're not present in the moment and able to fully give your attention and your thought process to what you're doing, because there's so many other things going on. So just kind of, as we're thinking about analyze and acknowledge what we're thinking, what consumes your thoughts in general? Every day could look different, but sometimes, again, we do have those recurring thoughts. Do we have rational thoughts? Are we thinking rationally? Are we kind of plaguing our minds with things that are not rational? Are we having irrational or intrusive thoughts? And sometimes we do. Sometimes we do think negatively, or we have those irrational thoughts or intrusive thoughts that make us feel like, we're not worth anything, or you have that, it's like almost like kind of having like a little negative, person almost in your ear, but that's our mind. Those are the things that we're thinking. And yes, sometimes we're thinking about something someone already said, but what consumes your thoughts? What are you typically even thinking about? What are some of those common thoughts that you have? And what do you think about yourself? Like, actually actively think. When you're thinking about you, what are you thinking? When you're thinking about what you're able to do, or what you have done, or what you're going to do, what are you actually thinking about in the course of a day? What thoughts do you have about you after you just had to present something? What were you thinking about you during the presentation, after the presentation? Do you think encouraging thoughts about yourself, or do you think discouraging thoughts about yourself? Our tag with Purpose Journey Counseling is to be loving and kind and compassionate and intentional. Do we think loving thoughts, kind thoughts, compassionate thoughts? Are we intentional in our thinking about ourselves? There is so much power in what we think. What you think can change the trajectory of your day. You could wake up and say, I'm not feeling it. I can't today. I just can't today. But when you switch that thinking to say, well, today is going to be a great day. I'm thinking about how great my day is going to be. I'm thinking about how, even if it didn't start off great, it's going to change. I'm thinking about what's going to happen today that I can do with the help of the Lord to impact someone else's life. What am I going to do today? I'm thinking about these things, like with all the things that I have to do, what is that going to mean for someone else? I have to be very intentional in what I think. And that's what I want to kind of impart in you today, is being very, very intentional, being mindful of what you're thinking about, understanding what is consuming your thoughts. What are you thinking about yourself? Our thought mind is very, very powerful. Your thinking has the ability to change your entire perspective. Because thinking, a lot of times, it's just perspective. You have the ability. You have the ability. And there's a lot of challenges and a lot of things that can kind of come and taint that perspective, or cause that perspective to be a little more negative than we'd even want it to be. However, there's so much power in what we think. And this could be a longer conversation, but of course, I want to keep these messages a little short. But I want you to think today, be very mindful of what you're thinking about, even asking yourself, what am I thinking about right now? What is consuming my thoughts? What am I thinking about myself? And then the overarching thing is just understanding that there is so much power in what we think, what is consuming our mind, and that affects our perspective. And perspective is so important. So today we are thinking, Thursday Thoughts, we are thinking about thinking today. Be very, very mindful of our thoughts and how that impacts our everyday. So yes, our tag, I want you to be loving, be kind, be compassionate, and be intentional. A little of all these things, or really a lot, would be great. But at least a little of all these things go a very long way. Thank you as always for joining. Again, please like, share, subscribe to YouTube, and also comment in the comments section. I invite you tomorrow to join us again at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time live for Friday Fun. We're going to talk about some fun tomorrow. And again, in 3 more days, just 3 days, we will have our 3rd episode of Hashtag from a Christian, Hashtag from a Therapist will be on Sunday, the 7th, Sunday, August the 7th, live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to invite you to join us on Sunday as well. As always, thank you for joining us for Thursday Thoughts, where we're thinking about thinking today, and blessings and love to all of you.